All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on an incredibly powerful, yet kind of invisible part of your body, the system that's quietly running the show on everything from your height to your mood.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to wonder what it is that controls all that? What dictates how you feel when you wake up, how you handle a stressful day, or even how you grow up? It's a fascinating question, and the answer is working inside you right this second.
And there it is. The answer is this intricate, powerful, and kind of hidden network of glands called the endocrine system. You can think of it like the master puppeteer, the silent director, making sure your body's daily performance goes off without a hitch. So, how does this network even operate? The best way to get your head around it is to think of it as your body's own personal communication service.
Yeah, it's like a super efficient postal service. But instead of letters and packages, it's sending out these tiny chemical messages called hormones. And forget about roads and mail trucks. It uses your bloodstream as a massive highway system to get these messages delivered exactly where they need to go. Okay, so if it's a messaging service, it's got to have offices, right? Places where the messages get written and sent out from. Well, in the endocrine system, these offices are called glands.
And it's important to know there are two main types of glands. On one hand, you've got exocrine glands. Think sweat glands or salivary glands. They have little tubes or ducts to release stuff outside the body. But for our story, we're focused on the endocrine glands. These guys are ductless. They release their hormone messages directly inside the body, straight into that bloodstream highway. So let's go on a little tour and meet some of the most important managers in this whole network, the key glands that are really running the entire operation. And we have to start at the top with the big boss, the CEO of the whole system. It's located right at the base of your brain, and it's called the pituitary gland. Its nickname is the master gland. And trust me, it has earned it. It sends out instructions to most of the other glands, telling them when to get to work and what to do. It also produces the growth hormone that determines how tall you get. And here's the wild part. It does all this, and it's only about the size of a single pea. Pretty amazing, right? Okay, moving on down into the neck, we find this cool butterfly-shaped gland. This is the thyroid, and you can basically think of it as your body's engine room or its thermostat. So the thyroid's main job is managing your metabolism. That's just the rate at which your body uses energy. It controls your body temperature, and it even has a direct impact on how fast or slow your heart beats. So yeah, pretty important stuff. And now for the action heroes of the network. Perched right on top of your kidneys, you've got the adrenal glands. These are your body's dedicated 24/7 emergency response team. So whenever you're in a stressful situation, or maybe you're just really excited or scared, these are the glands that leap into action. They pump out the hormone adrenaline, which is what triggers your fight or flight response. You know that sudden jolt of energy, that feeling of sharp focus? That's them, getting your body ready to face a challenge. So we have all these glands sending all these messages, doing all these different jobs, but what's the point of it all? All of this work is driving towards one single beautiful purpose. And that purpose is something called homeostasis. It's just a fancy word for balance. It is the constant, non-stop process of keeping your internal world perfectly stable. Not too hot, not too cold, not too much sugar, not too little. Just right. And this state of balance, it's absolutely essential for your survival. So we've been calling hormones messages, and that's literally what they are. They are specially designed chemicals carrying very specific instructions. But here's a puzzle. If they're floating all over the bloodstream, how do they make sure their message gets to the right address without getting lost? Well, this is the really genius part of the system. Each hormone is shaped like a unique key. It can travel all over the body, but it will only affect cells that have the exact matching lock, which scientists call receptors. It is a perfect system for targeted delivery. So the journey is simple, but so precise. First, the gland sends out the key. Then it travels down the bloodstream highway. It'll bump into billions of cells, but it just ignores them all until it finds the one with the perfect lock. It fits, it turns, the message is delivered, and that cell knows exactly what to do. And here's a perfect real-world example of this balancing act. Let's say you just had a meal, so your blood sugar goes up. In response, a gland called the pancreas releases the hormone insulin. Insulin is the key. It travels to your cells, unlocks them, and gives the instruction, hey, take up some sugar from the blood. The cells do what they're told, and your blood sugar level goes right back to normal. A perfect balance. So this incredible system works around the clock to keep you in balance, but it doesn't do it in a vacuum. It's directly influenced by the choices we make every single day. So let's talk about how we can support our body's messaging network and keep it running smoothly. And honestly, it all comes down to the foundations of good health. Eating balanced meals gives your glands the raw materials they need to make hormones. Regular exercise and getting enough sleep help keep those hormones regulated. And since we know the adrenal glands handle stress, managing your stress levels is huge. It's also smart to be aware of certain chemicals in our environment, sometimes called endocrine disruptors, which can interfere with these messages. It's all about creating the best possible environment for this system to do its amazing work. When you really think about it, your endocrine system is having a nonstop, complex conversation to keep you alive and well. The choices you make every day, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, that's your reply in that conversation. So what message will you send back? Thanks for joining me.